Ravens fan, pay attention to this. Coach John Harbaugh didn't hold back and was super honest about Derrick Henry after the game against the Cowboys. Henry had an incredible game, one of those performances we remember for a long time, and Harbaugh didn't let it pass unnoticed. He spoke openly about the impact our running back had and how his performance was decisive for the victory. But look, it wasn't just praise. Harbaugh also made some strong statements that you need to know. Stick with me until the end of this video, because this could change the course of the season for the Ravens. Go Ravens! Derrick Henry was simply unstoppable against the Cowboys. He rushed for 151 yards on 25 attempts and scored 2 touchdowns. Not to mention that 23-yard reception that helped move the team forward. In the previous weeks, he seemed to be warming up, but in this game, he showed all the power we already know. It's the kind of performance that makes you think, wow, this is the Henry who makes all the difference. If you miss seeing him dominate the field, this game was a feast. But of course, for him to shine like that, the whole team was on point. Coach John Harbaugh even said it was fun to see Henry play so well. And do you know why? Because everything was working together. The blocking from his teammates, the game plan, and even Lamar Jackson's helped to create space. When the team is synchronized like this, Henry has more freedom to do what he does best, and it becomes hard to stop him. It's not every day we see such a complete performance, and it brings incredible energy to the team and to everyone watching. The best part is that this performance didn't happen by chance. Henry has been working hard, and that includes being a leader for his teammates. He encourages the other players, especially the offensive line, to give their all. And when everyone does their part, the result is victories and breathtaking performances. And speaking of teamwork, we can't overlook the crucial role of the offensive line in this story. Derrick Henry had a monstrous performance, but he didn't do it alone. The Ravens' offensive line deserves all the credit for opening the holes that Henry needed to run. Coach John Harbaugh highlighted how crucial the blocking was, especially along the edges of the field. When the offensive line is functioning well, it creates a true corridor for Henry to pass through, and then he does what he does best: gain yards and break tackles. It's a team effort that, when executed well, leaves any defense in trouble. The coolest part is that it wasn't just the offensive line that shone. Harbaugh also mentioned how Lamar Jackson helped create opportunities for Henry by confusing the Cowboys' defense and opening up more space. It was a collective effort where every player had an important role. When everything fits together this way, the Ravens' running game becomes a true nightmare for opponents. And with Henry in great shape, the offensive line has even more reasons to keep pushing hard. And don't think this happens by chance. Henry has been a leader not just on the field, but also off it, always encouraging his teammates to give their best. He knows that his success depends on the performance of the line, and he makes a point of training with them, guiding and motivating the team. It's a leadership that makes all the difference for the squad. And speaking of leadership, Harbaugh made sure to highlight this quality of Henry in the press conference. Derrick Henry isn't just a guy who runs well with the ball. He's also a true leader for the team. John Harbaugh made a point to talk about this, highlighting how Henry always encourages his teammates, especially the offensive line. He positively challenges them, showing that they can achieve even more, and the results are visible on the field. When you have a player like Henry lifting the team up, it's hard not to want to give your best. One of the most striking things is that Henry is always involved in pass protection drills, helping his teammates improve in aspects that go beyond the running game. He could simply focus on his runs, but no, he wants the whole team to evolve. And this attitude is what Harbaugh described as true, genuine leadership. It's the kind of behavior that motivates everyone around to grow, both on and off the field. Henry's attitude ends up reflecting in the team's overall performance. A player who not only shines, but also helps others shine, makes all the difference. And speaking of shining, this game against the Cowboys was a true reminder of Henry's glory days, when he used to dominate the league frequently. By the way, this performance makes us think about the times when he easily rushed for over 100 yards. This game against the Cowboys felt like a trip back in time, back to when Derrick Henry dominated opposing defenses with ease. After a last season where he surpassed 100 yards only 4 times, this performance brought back that classic Henry, who never gets tired of racking up yards. And the most impressive part is that he did this against one of the toughest defenses in the league. When Henry is in shape, he truly is a force of nature, hard to stop. The performance against the Cowboys serves as a reminder to everyone that Henry still has plenty of gas left in the tank. With the offensive line paving the way and the game plan working in his favor, he can show why he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. This is the perfect combination. Henry in great form and a team committed to making everything work. If he keeps this up, we can expect many more performances at this level throughout the season. And the impact of this display goes far beyond the stats. Henry showed that when everything is in sync, he can still be the pillar of the Ravens offense, carrying the team to victory. This confidence, both in him and his teammates, only boosts the team's morale. And with this morale high, the team is already preparing for the challenges ahead. And speaking of that, Coach Harbaugh made it clear that this kind of performance brings tremendous confidence to everyone. Derrick Henry's performance was so impressive that Coach John Harbaugh said it was fun to watch. And who wouldn't think so? When a player dominates the field like Henry did, the entire team gains confidence. This confidence is essential for the Ravens to stay strong throughout the season. Henry showed that with the support of his teammates and the execution of the game plan, he could be a game changer in any matchup. This gives a huge morale boost to the team, which now knows it can rely on the running game when necessary. And this performance puts Henry in a prominent position in the race for the league's top stats. With 4 touchdowns in 3 weeks, he is already tied with big names like Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara. Additionally, he ranks 5th in rushing yards, with a total of 281. This shows that, even after a last season that fell a bit short of expectations, Henry is ready to compete with the best running backs in the NFL. If he continues at this pace, Henry will not only be fighting for individual titles, but could also lead the Ravens to new heights this season. The game against the Cowboys was proof that he still has a lot to offer, and that when he's in shape, he's one of the hardest players to stop in the league. Now, we just have to wait and see what he will do in the coming weeks, because if it's up to him, there will be many more memorable performances ahead. So, Ravens fan, after hearing everything Harbaugh had to say about Derrick Henry, it's clear that he's becoming a true leader both on and off the field. But the big question remains: will Henry maintain this level of play throughout the season and continue to be the driving force behind our offense? His performance against the Cowboys certainly set the bar high. But can he keep it up? I'll be keeping a close eye on the upcoming games to see how he performs. What do you think? Will Henry shine even brighter in the weeks to come? Or has he already shown us his best? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep following this journey together.